Welcome back, McFly subscribers. We're continuing the mayfly dry series this month with one of the most important dry flies in the sport. This is the fly that helped kick off the Catskill dry fly revolution, the Quill Gordon. Developed by Theodore Gordon in the 1890s, he's widely considered the father of American dry fly fishing, and for good reason. His ideas and patterns still influence how we tie and fish dry flies today. This is McFly Angler.
Starts now.
Alright, let's get started. Place the hook securely in your vise. For hook, I'm using Risen's Barbless Dry Fly 100 in size 12. This is a standard length dry fly hook with a down eye. For thread, I'm using Viva's 14-aught in black, and it's a very fine and flat thread that is extremely strong for its diameter. Now I use Vivas almost exclusively, and I was able to get you all a deal and even free bobbin holder. Details are later in the video, and link is below. Start your thread, leaving a small space behind the eye, and then snip or snap off the tag. Bring your thread down to about the halfway point on the hook, and then back up halfway between those wraps, putting you right around a quarter of the way down the hook shank. A perfect spot for the wings. Now for the wings. Traditionally, the Quill Gordon uses wood duck, but it can be hard to find and pretty expensive. So many tyers use dyed mallard flank as a substitution. And as you can see, the mallard doesn't quite have the same bold checkering, and the color can be a bit off depending on the feather. And it works, but if you can get wood duck, it's better to stick with the original. Prepare the feather by stripping off the fuzzy fibers at the base, and then preen the fibers to one side so the tips align. Grasp the tips and pull them free. Clipping off the curly fibers helps as well. Now most people tie these in and then individually post the wings to split them, but these feathers have a natural curve, so I like to fold them away from each other, but that doesn't always cooperate, like here. So if that happens to you, just split the fibers in half, and rotate one side and realign the tips. And now they're splayed naturally. Tie this in on top of the hook with the wings about a hook shank length long, and then make 3 to 4 tight wraps rearward, then trim the waist close. Bring your thread back up to the base of the wing, pull the wings upright, and make a few wraps underneath to prop them up. They're already starting to separate slightly, but you can accentuate that with a figure 8 wrap between the wings. And I find this quicker and cleaner than posting, and it gives a nice natural look. Now wrap rearward, cleaning up the butt ends, and since this is a flat thread, spin your bobbin counterclockwise to uncord it, and this flattens the thread and gives you a smoother body. Bring your thread down to about the hook point, and now for the tail. I'm using a dun-colored dry fly cape and pulling a feather from the larger base section. Trim off the fuzzy fibers, and then align about 5 to 6 fibers and pull them from the stem. Tie them in on top of the hook with the tips pointing rearward, about a hook shank length long. Adjust if needed, and then make tight wraps back to the bend. I like to add a wrap underneath the tail to lift and slightly splay the fibers. Then trim the tag so it extends up to the bump from the wing tie-in. Now for the quill body. Take a full peacock tail feather and pull a strand from near the base of the eye. The fibers near the tip are a little too short, so you want the longer ones down here. To prep the quill, remove the fibers to expose the stem, and the easiest way is with an eraser. Just rub them off in both directions until they're clean. Now you can use bleach to prep multiple quills at once, but it does lighten them, and unless I'm tying a lot of these, I usually just stick with the eraser. Okay, once it's clean, trim off the very fine tip section, and then tie the quill in so the tag matches the length of your tail tags. Then make smooth touching wraps up the hook shank to secure everything. Uncord your thread again, then build a slight taper by wrapping halfway down and back up. Grab the quill with hackle pliers, and wrap it forward to form a segmented abdomen. Try to keep your spacing even, and I like to leave a little bit of the black thread showing through. Now peacock quills can be fragile. Originally, these were reinforced with fine wire, but I prefer not to add extra weight, and with modern UV resins, you can get a more durable body while keeping the fly lighter. When you reach your thread, tie off the quill and trim the excess. Now this would normally be the time to add the resin or counterwrap with wire, but I missed it here, but I'll fix that later. Now for the hackle. Using that same dun cape, select a feather sized for your hook. Now this one is on the small end for a size 12, but it'll work well. Strip the longer fibers from the base, then remove a few extra fibers from the far side so that the feather wraps more cleanly. Tie it in at the front of the abdomen using a figure 8 wrap to keep it perpendicular. Then wrap up the stem, keeping it flat along the shank. Trim if needed so it doesn't crowd the eye. Continue wrapping forward past the wings to the hook eye with smooth, even turns. Tying a smooth and even base helps the hackle lay clean. Grab the tip of the hackle with some hackle pliers, and then wrap towards the wings with tight, touching turns. When you reach the wings, pull them back and make a few wraps in front, and I did about 6 behind and 4 in front. Capture the hackle, leaving a small space behind the eye. To keep them from crowding forward, pull the feather stem rearward before wrapping in front. Trim the excess, then build a smooth, slightly larger black head. Don't worry about using a few extra wraps here, just make sure you keep them even. Once you're happy with the head, then whip finish and cut your thread. Now to cement the head. I like using the Solarez Ultra Thin Resin. Use a handy brush in the cap to brush the top and bottom of the head. Cure it with your UV light for a durable, glossy finish. Now, since I missed the abdomen earlier, I'll carefully apply a light coat here now, but just trying to avoid the hackle. Now, because it's so thin, it won't add noticeable bulk or weight, and it really brings out that segmentation. And there we have it, the finished Quill Gordon. What an elegant fly pattern. The wings are more suggestive than exact replicas, but they do the job, and have been fooling trout for well over a century. Now this pattern played a major role in the development of the Catskill-style dry flies, which dominated American fly fishing through the early to mid-1900s. Known for their slender bodies, upright wings, and balanced proportions, it's a style that still influences tying today. The name comes from the Catskill region of New York, where Theodore Gordon spent his later years, breeding chickens, tying flies, and influencing generations of anglers on those same waters. Fly fishing wouldn't be the same without this fly, or the influence that Gordon had on everything that came after it. We're now 2 patterns into the mayfly dry series this month. Last week we tied the wally wing, a technique that creates some of the most beautiful dry fly wings out there. Next week I'll be tying an extended body mayfly like this one. It's a great technique that makes some really unique abdomens, and it's not nearly as difficult as it looks. So make sure you're subscribed and click that bell notification so you don't miss it. By the way, those fly boxes you saw earlier, I do sell them. They're magnetic backed with open compartments, which makes them perfect for small nymphs and dry flies. The magnets are strong enough that you can turn the box upside down and even give it a shake, and everything stays put. So you're not losing flies every time you bump the box or drop it, which is great for me because I'm pretty clumsy. Now I've got them available on my Amazon storefront with free shipping. If you want to check them out, link is below. As promised, here's that Vivas deal. Their VIP program is $99, and that gets you 10% off of everything. Also a $120 gift card and a free shirt. And if you use my link below, they'll even throw in a free bobbin holder as well. Or if you don't want the VIP, you can still get 10% off just by using that link. Also, check out my sponsor Risen Fly. They made the hooks I use today, but also make some awesome fly rods and other gear at amazing prices. They're offering you all 15% off your first order. Just use that code McFly at checkout to get the discount. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and share it with your fishing friends. I'll see you on the next video. Now you go catch some fish.